Joining me now is Dr. Keri Peterson, an internal medicine physician for Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City. And I saw as you were watching the report along with me, you're shaking your head at points. Why?
I was looking at some of the statistics that were presented, and I wanted to clarify some of them and also talk about the risk of cervical cancer in women. Cervical cancer affects 12,000 women per year and causes 4,000 deaths per year. When you look at that statistically and then you compare it to the number of complaints, which were 7,800 total, of that, only 7% were considered serious. So 94% of those were considered minor.
What about the point, though, that you have pap smears, and those will be the early detection for cervical cancer, so this isn't necessary?
Pap smears are going to detect HPV early, that is true, but the course of HPV can progress even with appropriate pap smears. The idea is to prevent it from happening before you even obtain the virus sexually. So the vaccine is a primary prevention.
Now, they also called it vaccine roulette. I guess what parents have to determine, and it's a very tough choice, is whether you give your child a vaccine, but the odds of something happening from that are higher than the odds of what you're trying to protect them from. Has there been, to your knowledge, any direct link between the vaccine and the side effects that people have been complaining about? Because they say, well, it happened right after I got this vaccine, but have they been able to make that direct link?
Not at this time. All of the serious adverse events that have been reported have not been shown to have a direct causal relationship. In particular, of the 15 deaths that were reported, 10 of them have been thoroughly investigated, and it was not associated. And if you look at the adverse events reporting system, anybody that has had the Gardasil vaccine can go online and report a symptom they're experiencing or a concern they have. It does not necessarily mean that the vaccine has caused it, but the CDC is required to report it.
Do you have any teenage daughters?
I do not.
No, you're too young. I do. If you were to talk to parents right now that are watching and explain to them why you believe it is important to get this vaccine, what would be the top couple of reasons?
Well, the number one reason would be to prevent cervical cancer, which is the number 2 cause of deaths from cancer in women. This is a prevalent disease, and it can be prevented.